Guys, how y'all doing? Hope your day is going well. Mine's is. Anyway, it is cloudy out there because it's raining. Anyway, I wanted to talk to y'all about I why I'm doing YouTube, and a lot of my contents is, with somebody getting murdered or a child getting hurt or something around it. Y'all see what it is. Well, let me tell y'all this. I had a son that was 16 years old, and he was a very, very bright boy. He went to Queens Vocational School. He was really bright. He was so glad to get into school because he was just like, "Ma, look at all these girls in here. Like, they fine as hell." I was like, "Boy, you better go ahead and get an education." But anyway, I see a lot of parents that have their children, running around here, this age, like 16, 15, 14, 13, like, just running amok. And I can't understand that because a lot of families should really know that have children. You should really like keep your kids close, because I would never want a parent to feel like I feel. I have 4 children. I told y'all this before. I only have one that's living. That's my big boy. Yes. But my son, I'm not going to say his name. I'm going to say his name. His name is Aaron. And me and him was really, really close. Like, really close. And where I lived at, a lot of people thought that he was my man. Like, for real. They thought he was my man. Like, it was crazy. It was like, a lot of people came to me, "Oh my God, your man, he is so nice." Like, and I'm like, I got a man? Which I didn't have a man at the time. And I'm like, I have a man? And it was like, yeah, the guy you be with the curly hair and the hazel eyes. And I was like, that's my son. They was like, what? But I was just like crazy. But I like I said, I'm going to get back to where I see a lot of young people. I don't know what's going on out here that these parents is letting these kids like run amok out here, carrying guns and all of this extra stuff, got drugs in their house, all of the extra stuff. I try to tell people, like, try to keep your kids close, because y'all can imagine what I'm going through, losing 3 children, 18, 2 days old, and 16. And me and a 16-year-old was very, very close. And I never forget that day because it was Christmas. And I kept telling my son, like, boy, it was like 2 days after Christmas. I was like, boy, if you don't, take your gifts from underneath the tree and go give them out, because to his grandfather, his grandmother, he had mad stuff underneath there, and he has a stepsister. She's like my daughter, and his father, was very close with him too, because he was the firstborn, and he was an older guy. My son's father, he was an actor, slash whatever. But anyway, a lot of people do know him. His name is Butch. But I never forget that day. My son was like, "Ma," he was like, you saw my beeper," and I was like, "No." Like, no. So I looked around the house, we was looking for, me and him was just tearing the house up, look for this damn beeper. We like, okay, we can't find the beeper. So what happened was, I had got a phone call. So when I answered the phone, it was a young lady, y'all. And she was like, "Oh, did somebody lose a beeper here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Hey, come over here, cause somebody on the phone told about they found your beeper or whatever." So I don't know how that happened because I don't know like the numbers that was in there. Maybe they can go. I don't remember how beepers work because that's how long ago it was. I don't even know how beepers used to work. But anyway, she called. So he came inside and was like, "Yo, mom, you know, I'm gonna go get my beeper." And I'm like, "From where?" So he was like, "Yo, this girl, she got my beeper." And I was like, nah, nigga, like, excuse me, nah, because you don't really know this person, and he was just like, "Mom, she sounds nice, you know, whatever. Let me just, it ain't gonna take me no more, like, into like 15 minutes." So he didn't tell me exactly where he was going to get it from, but he said it would take him like 15 minutes, so it had to be close, you know. So anyway, he had left. So my fiance now was like, we're waiting and waiting, I wait, and then his girlfriend, her name was Erin. So she was like, he said, "Mom, when Erin come, tell Erin I'd meet her." His name is Aaron. His girlfriend name is Erin. Aaron and Erin. So anyway, he said, "Tell her to meet me at the library." So I said, "Bet." So the time was going by, and I knew something like was wrong because my son was the type of person where he thought he was my daddy, like, you know, like for real, like he thought he was my damn daddy. I'd be like, "Boy," and he was like, he would call me every half an hour, "Ma, you good?" I'd be like, "I'm good, boy. Stop keep calling me, like, what the hell, boy." So anyway, Erin, the little girl, came to the house, and she was like, "Where's Aaron?" And I was like, he said for you to wait for him at the library." I said, "But it's been a minute. Like, it's been a minute, right?" So now time is just going by. Like, you know, library closed now, and I'm like, "Oh my God, something is wrong." So my fiance was like, "Let's just get dressed and just go and we go out and eat or whatever." I was like, "I ain't going nowhere. Like, are you dumb? Like, I'm not going nowhere, bro. Like, wait, my son, where he at?" And so he was like, "He probably just out chilling." My son don't chill. My son don't chill like that. Like, no, my son don't chill. So now I'm in the house and I'm panicking, and he's like, "Babe, why don't you let's go get something to eat?" I'm saying, "Listen, I just told you, bro. Like, I'm not doing none of that. Like, I'm not doing none of that, bro. I'm waiting here and to find out where the hell is my son." So it was eight, 9 o'clock. So now I'm in full blown mommy mood. Like, I'm tripping. I don't even know where to begin because my son, I know he would be at either his grandmother's house or his auntie house. I know that for a fact. So he wasn't there. So somebody had called me, right? They was like, "Hello, your name is whatever." They said, "Do you know somebody named Aaron?" So I was like, "Yeah." And they hung up. I was like, "What the hell? What the hell is going on?" Right? So, y'all, I don't know how I did this. I don't know if I don't remember. I'm being real with you. I blacked out. I really did black out. So I don't know how I called that number back. But so happened it was the police department. And I said, "Yo, somebody just called my house and was asking me, did they know Aaron?" So I think she said, "Oh yeah, yeah." I told her my last name. So she was like, "Oh yeah, I know that name. I know that name from somewhere." So somebody probably in the precinct was going to her, you know, telling her. She said, "Oh, oh, 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 no, no, that's not him." I said, "Yo, stop playing with me right now. Stop playing with me right now." I'm about, so what I'm thinking in my head, that the police done got my son and beat my son to death. You know, that's the first thing I was thinking. Like, they don't beat my child. They don't beat my child. Oh my God. Because my son don't have no record or nothing like this, but I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I said, I'm about to come there right now. She was like, ma'am, don't come. I was like, what? You don't tell me what to do. Like, you bugging, right? So I hung up the phone. So now I'm putting on my clothes. I'm getting dressed. He getting dressed because we don't really know what the hell is going on. So as I was getting ready, like, to go, it was a knock on my door. Oh my God, y'all. I looked at the peek hole. So it was these big men, like big men, white men, like, you know, and I was like, I still wasn't like thinking nothing. So when I opened the door, they just came in, but they had my son's hat. So now, mind you, I'm still not there because I think everything was like cloudy. So I stepped back by the wall. So my fiance and the detectives sat down in a chair in my living room, and I seen him lean over. He said it very, very softly, but to me, it sounded loud. He was like, he's gone. And I heard that. Lord, let me tell y'all parents, it's a scream that nobody wants to hear. And I mean, it's a curling scream. I screamed so loud that it broke my vocal cord. Right? Like, seriously, it broke my vocal. I could not talk no more. So, my son worked for the police department. What do you call it? Damn, I can't say the name of it. Oh my God. Well, anyway, he worked for the 33rd. So I was tripping. I just was like bugging. So I'm like, no, I was trying to stop them from leaving, and they was like, no, I was literally, y'all, for real, y'all listen. I was on my knees, holding him, saying, no, 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 take me to my son. Take me to my son because it's not getting through to me. Like, it really not getting through to me. So I said, no, 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 take me to my son. So they was like, ma'am, he's not here anymore. So they was like, you gotta let me go. Like, you know, we need to go catch the person that did this. Because remember, I told you my son worked for the police department. He worked for them too. So explorer. My son was an explorer. So they was like, no, he's one of us. So we have to go get him. I promise you, we're gonna get him tonight. But anyway, I must right from that moment, I had no more memory of anything happening on Earth. Like, for real, like on Earth, like nothing. I had no memory of. My house was full of people. I don't know how that happened because I don't remember anything. So now I'm just like a lonely person. Like, this can't be happening. The tree is up. All his gifts is there. He got a room full of money because people gave him mad money. And I just blacked out. So they did catch that person that night. Like, I don't know how they did it, but they did it. They said they was going to do it. When it was one of them, they said one of us, oh, we catching him tonight. Like, they did. But I still wasn't here. So now I'm making phone calls to his aunt and was like, tell Aaron to come on home. And she's like, hey, he's not here. So I'm not getting it, y'all. I'm tripping. So I called his grandma and I was like, can you tell Aaron to come home? And she's like, oh my God, he's not. They didn't understand. So anyway, the next day, so happened his aunt owns a funeral parlor. So I don't know what happened. I know I went to the funeral parlor because I thought I was talking to my son. You lose it like that. People don't understand. Like it's. I'm just trying to warn people. Like when you have your children, please hold your kids close, man. Like for real. I went there with. I went shopping and I bought some socks, t-shirts, and some underwears and stuff like that. So I went to the funeral parlor. So I was like, she was like, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "He cold." I said, "He cold. He needs some socks on and some underwear and a t-shirt." So she was like, "I have him. I have him." And I'm like, "What do you mean you have him?" She had him. She had my son in her office. It was crazy. Like, yeah, she on the funeral parlor, y'all. But she just so happened to have my son right next to where she work at, like, cause that's her nephew. So she was like, I already did all that. He has on a t-shirt. He has clean socks and everything. Now I'm in a whole new world, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I'm just doing things, crazy stuff. So she said, you want to see him?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm, yeah." So when she brought him out, she opened it up. He was there, and I was like, I was scared of my own son. So I just started kissing him. And I see like he used to suck his thumb and his finger was smashed because she told me, "What happened to his finger?" And I said, "Well, he sucked his thumb and it's from day one." I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just saying this to y'all because it is so much going on out here. And a lot of parents is losing their children. And I'm just one a mom that's letting you know you need to talk to your kid and hold your kids tight because there's evil people out here, you know, and excuse me. And you know, these this person, sorry y'all, that did this to my child, he was jealous. He never met my son a day in his life, but his friends was there too. So we had to go to like the Supreme Court and stuff like that. And all his friends turned on him. Yeah, they turned on him. Turned on the guy that did this. I had people, I'm not gonna tell you like the thing they was in. They were dropping as they were walking, testifying, they were dropping their scarves in my lap. And one young man said, "I had to testify because your son did nothing. He gave us the money and his chain." And he said, "This guy took it too far. And I am so sorry. Because I don't really know what's going on." But what I'm saying is, your children, please hold them tight, you know? And try to explain to them, like, life, that someone can target you. Because my son was the type of person, he was cool with everybody, you know? I used to have people come up to me. I'm not lying, y'all. Like, for real. This lady told me something one day. Yeah. I'm going to get to something else, too. This lady told me something one day. She said, your son is so sweet. Like, I'm a grown woman. She said, I was walking down the street. She said, your son bent down. And he said, put your foot right here to the lady, you know. And she was like, put my foot right here. Like, what you doing? So he was like, no, your shoes are untied. And he tied her shoe. She was like, this guy is amazing. Let me tell you how amazing my son was. When I went to the school, I spoke to the school, the big audience. It was a big auditorium. All the kids was there. They all, when I walked in, they gasped. You could hear the, because we look so much alike. I mean, seriously, we look so much alike. And they had a plaque of my son in that school right now today. When you walk in the door, my son plaque is hanging up there. And they treated me, and I spoke to them, you know, to be careful out there, never to go with anyone, you know, you always take somebody with you. Don't be so trusting, you know, because some people is just evil for no reason, you know, just for no reason. But I just wanted to say this because I see y'all probably see that I put up a lot of um murders. This is happening, y'all, you know, and I am a mom of a son that was taken from me. Plus, I had two other children that passed away, but they didn't pass away like that. You know, one of my sons had cancer. I had cancer, and my other baby had cancer. They had it on the side of their father. Their father had a disease, whatever, and it caused cancer. But my other two children died from cancer, and I just had cancer not too long ago, y'all. And I had a, you know, breast, and that is taken. But anyway, I just wanted to come and let y'all know, you have children, please check your kids' rooms, hold them more closer to you, do a lot of stuff with them. I'm gonna tell y'all one more story when he was younger. Just one more. I'm sorry, I just had to let it go and tell you the story. One day we had went to Central Park. He loves Central Park, right? And it's like stairs there. And it was the guy that's from DC Cab. I don't know his name, but the guy that played in the movie DC Cab. He was there. He was doing comedy, right? So he was doing comedy. Everybody was laughing or whatever. So you know, people give him money or whatever. So for some reason, he seen my son, and my son was little, and he was like, "You," like to my son, right? So he said my son came down, and he was like, "Take this bag and go around and get my money." You know, he was playing. He was like, so I'm just looking, and my son is getting the money. Him and another young little boy. So, but my son had a whole bag. So he bought my son bought it to the guy from DC Cab. And he was like, dang, bro, what the hell? Yo, you got mad money. Like, oh my God. It was a lot, y'all. So he dumped it. So he said, shoot, go back and get me some more. Now everybody cracking up because he's stupid. So anyway, my son went again and went around. So people started stuffing the money in my son's clothes all over. My son was so stuffed with money. So when he came back to the guy DC Cab, he was like, yo man, where my money at? So my son was like, I don't know. And he was like, it feel like you got my money, right? It was hilarious, y'all. It was my son. It's hilarious. So he said, man, you got my money. So my son was like, no. He said, what is all this money inside your clothes? So he took my son and he took him and shook him up down, and all the money started falling out. Everybody was crying. I was like, yo, that was funny as hell, y'all. So DC, the guy from DC Cab, he just gave my son so much money. I don't know. It was like my son just drew, he was drawn to people. You know what I'm saying? Like in that same day, he had made so much money. We went to the zoo. They had a seal. Now my son was acting up, like for real. He was bugging. It was a seal. Y'all know that seal that was in Central Park. So we was like, look at the seal, look at the seal. He was like, no, like, no, mom, like, no, 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 no. So my son was crying, like for real. So every time my son would run, the seal, this is no lie, y'all, the seal will follow him. So I was just like, he was breaking. He was like crying too hard. People was cracking up. People was taking pictures because this seal was tripping over my son. So I kept saying, he's not going to bother you. Stop crying. So I had picked my son up, right? And, he sucked his thumb. So I said, just look. Let me tell y'all. The seal jumped out the water. I am not telling y'all no lie. I was standing there with my son. The seal sat on the edge, right this close to us. And he put his finger in his mouth. And he was like, doing the same exact thing my son was doing. People was going crazy. They was like, they couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. That's why I knew my son was really special, But anyway, I'm going to go, y'all. That's the story. I needed to get it out. I wanted y'all to know this is why I do a lot of these videos about the children, young men acting reckless. Now, my son wasn't reckless, but I'm saying, like, these kids, it's not getting any love or something. Because the manner of these children so young and doing these type of things, it's like kind of ridiculous. Like, for real, it's ridiculous. I mean, to see these kids so young, and their parents, people say, where the hell are their parents at? Listen, I was that parent. I made sure I knew what my kid was, at all times. And I hugged them. I gave them so many kisses. You have to show your kids love. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think these kids are just running wild out here. Because I don't know if their parents is hugging them and kissing them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do that for your kid, like, for real, y'all. But anyway, y'all, I'm on it. I didn't tell y'all this. I do stories on Spotify. Like, I've been doing it for a while, and if y'all like to, my name is, y'all get ready for it. Y'all dare not be laughing at me. It's Shorty Love. Listen to my content. I've been doing that for a while, y'all. Like, for real, I tell short stories or whatever. And check me out. Shorty Love. Yes. Shorty Love on Spotify. Y'all can hear my stories. But anyway, I thank y'all for listening to me. And y'all can give me a thumbs down if y'all want to, or thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel. I appreciate y'all listening to me anyway. I need to get that out anyway, like sometime, but a lot of these stories I do, it brings back memories to me. But I'm good, y'all. So anyway, I'm gonna go, and peace and love, and take care of yourself. Alright, y'all. Peace.